Alright guys, welcome to SIP-COMSYS, right? This is a continuation of IP address. Now, this time around we are going to do what we call subnetting, right? So, stay tuned and then watch out for more video as well. Please subscribe to the channel, right? Okay, now I'm going to release my OneNote, right? This is my board, right? Now you can see up here is my placeholders, right? If you don't know about these placeholders, I have them in my previous videos. You can follow up, okay? All right, so let's say we are giving an IP, right? Let's say 200.10.0.0, right? Now, and you have to find 3 subnet, right? Okay, 3 subnet. Now, 3 subnet also means what? 3 network, okay? Now, what we have to do first is you have to know which class this IP address or the network ID belongs to. Now, if you watch, it's starting from 200, right? So this is between 192.2.2.2.3. So this is between that number. So this is a class C, okay? So what is the class C default subnet mask, right? So that's 255.255.255.0. okay? Now the next thing we have to do is convert this whole 255.255.255.0 into binary. Now in my previous video I showed you how to convert 255 into binary, and you know that wherever you see 255, they are all 8 ones, okay? So you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now wherever there's 0, you all see what is 0, so that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, now I'm going to give them colors to differentiate for you to see. Okay, this 255 have this color, right? So I'm going to put this color here. So you can see I have given them the colors respectively according to what the bit. Now I have my 0 in what? 0 bits. Now what I have to do is we have a formula that we use to calculate the number of bits that we have to borrow from the host side, as the 0 side, okay? The number of bits we have to borrow, right? The formula is 2 raised to the power n, okay? So it should be equal to 3 or more, okay? This is the formula we use. So 2 raised to the power n should be equal to 3 or more, right? So if we should do 2 raised to the power 0, sorry, let me do this properly, 0, right? Which is equal to what? 1. Now 1 here is smaller than 3, okay? So we cannot use 0 bits, so come down to the next one, okay? So 2 raised to the power 1, okay? Now this is equal to 2, so 2 here is smaller than 3, so we cannot use 1 bit, right? So let's try the next number, 2 to the power 2, right? Which is equal to 4, sorry, 4, right? Now you can see 4 is more than what? 3. So that means we'll have to borrow what? 2 bits here. So let me give this different color. See? So now we are going to borrow what? 2 bits here, right? Now, so when I come to my host side here, which I have 8 bits, so I'm going to start counting from here. So which is 1, 2. So I'm going to borrow 2 bits, okay? 2 bits like this. So this will change to 1, 2, right? So I'm going to color that to make it different. Good. So let's see. I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bits left. So now borrow 2. That's 1, 2. Now the next thing we have to do is look at the placeholders here. I have starting from 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Now I have to position them accordingly. So if you watch, I have 1 and 2. So that means 128 and 64 will turn on, right? So here I need to position that. So 128. And then what? 64. So these 2 bits will turn on. Okay. Since we are able to get to this point, one thing about subnetting is the moment you are able to borrow the bit that is required, you are done. Because I'll just show you a simple trick, right? So now I can clean up this. Okay. Now let's see. Our new subnet mask, you see, the default one is 255, 255, 255. But now we've borrowed 1 2 bit, okay? So that means our subnet mask here is going to change. So if we should convert this back to decimal, right? So here you have 255, okay? Dot 255, dot 255. Because let me just space that for us to see. Okay, good. Because if all the bits are on, they are all what? 255, right? So now the next octet here, right? We have 1 2 on, which is 128 and what? 64, which is 192. Now, so this means this is going to be my new subnet mask. So I have 255, 255, 255 dot 192. Let's check that. Let me bring my calculator here so that we can cross check. Okay. So let's say here I have 128 plus 64. You can see 192. So this is my new subnet mask that I'm going to use. Now, so we can either have this or the slash, right? It's in my previous video. If you don't know about the slash, just going for it. So if you should count the bits that are on, right? You can see here I have 8 plus 8, 16 plus another 8, that's what? 24. So if you should count 25, 26, so 2 bits in addition, so slash 26. So you have 255, 255, 255, but 192 can be written slash what? 26. Okay. So our very first network, right, which is this, the mother, right? So will be 200.10.0.0, and that will be slash 26. Okay. Now, so let me do this. Subnet 1. Okay. Let me copy this and then use it. So subnet 2. Let me do this for subnet 3. Okay. Now, so now what would be our subnet 2, right? Now to find our subnet 2, or our second network, right, the last bit borrow is our magic number. Okay, this last bit borrow is our magic number. So I'll just give it a different color because we are going to use that particular number log. Good. So this is our magic number. That is why I've given it a different color. Now we are going to add this magic number to the very first network that we've gotten to a particular octet, right? If you watch, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the changes have been at the fourth one. That's the last octet, right? So that is where we'll be adding the 64 in that particular order. So our subnet 2, right, or our second network, that's 200.10.0.0 plus our magic number, which is what? 64 will give us what? 64 slash 26, because they are all on the same subnet, right? Now our network 3, 200.10.0 dot, I thought it's going to be series of what? 64. So 64 plus 64, so that's 128 slash 26, right? Now we were told to find what? 3 subnets, but we know that 2 raised to the power 2 give us 4. That means to give us additional 1, right? So let's try that and see. Okay, so subnet 4, 200.10.0, right? So 64 plus 128 will give us what? 192 slash what? 26. So as you can see, we have our subnet. Now we are not down. There are other things which come to play. Now in Cisco examination or network CompTIA network plus or CompTIA N plus, right? In some cases they might ask you to find for what? The broadcast address of the what? Subnets, right, that you've calculated. We still deal with what? The magic number, which is 64. Or if all the remaining bits are set to what? 1, it should give you what? Your broadcast address for what? The first subnet. Then from there we'll be adding on just like we did for what? So your magic number minus 1 will give you what? The broadcast address for what? Your first subnet, right? So let's try that. So magic number, which is 64 minus 1, that's what? 63. Okay, so that will be 200.10.0.63 slash 26. So this will be our very first broadcast address for this very first subnet. Now let's try the real theory. Let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 bits left because I've borrowed 2. So if I should turn all these 6 bits on, that should give me my broadcast address. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So here 1 will be on. Okay, let me do that. So 2. Now you need to position the placeholders, right, in this order, right? Now I have 32. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to add all this, and then they should give me what? My broadcast address. And I should remember the changes happening at the what? Last octet. That's the 4th octet, right? So let's look at that. Let me add on before we bring the calculator, because in the row exams there will not be anything like calculator. Okay, but for us to speed up with the videos, that's why I'll be using the calculator for this, right? Okay, so let's see. I have here 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. What do you have? You see, we have here what? 63, right? Just like I did what? The magic number minus 1 gave us what? 63, right? Now, all we have to do here is we add the 63 to the subnet mask, the subnet or the network ID here. That will give us what? Our broadcast address for each of the subnet, right? So let's say 200.10.0. Now we'll add this subnet, which is what? 64, right? So what we'll do here is 64 plus 63, because that's where the changes happen, the last update, right? Plus 63, that's what? 127, right? So I'll put it 127, okay, slash 26. Now I need to find for this as well, so I'll be adding 63 again towards 128 to find for our broadcast address. So 200.10.0. So let's do that. 128 plus 63, 191. So here I'll have 191 slash 26. That 200.10.0. So 63 plus 192, right? So you do that. 192 plus 63, so that's 255. So you can see 255 slash 26, right? So this is what we'll have when we calculate what subnet was 3, okay, or 3 subnet. We are supposed to find for just 3, right? But based on the bit we borrow, we will have extra one, which is the 4th one here, okay? All right, so let's test this theory with the what? Network card, right? So let me go to my network card. Okay, my Ethernet, and then change adapter options. So I can close this, okay? Now, just like I did in my previous video, right? So I'm going to right click this and go for properties, and then I'm going to do IP version 4, okay? That's what I'm going to do it. Go for properties. So now I'll take on use the following IP. Now let me try my subnet here, right? So I have 200.10.0, right? 0. So if I press the tab key will give me the default subnet mask of what? Class C. But this time around it's not going to be 255.255.255. It's going to be 192 at the end. So I have 255.255.192. Now this is a network, okay? We have 210.0.0, okay? This is a network. Slash 26, this is what you have. Now you can see it's sending me what? An error message that the combination is invalid, okay? So I cannot assign 0, but I can assign what? 1, right? Good. So if I should try what? 63, right? Likewise, I cannot assign 63 because 63 is a what? Broadcast address, and that means I cannot do that, okay? So the next thing I want us to look at is the host, right? So that I'll come back to the network side, the host, the number of hosts or the number of devices we can use on the network. Okay, so if you watch here, we have 6 bits left, right? So now I'm going to put here 6 bits left. Okay, now to find for the host, we use a formula called 2 raised to the power n. Okay, 2 raised to the power n minus 2, right? That is if you want to find for what? The valid host. Okay, minus 2, because minus 2 means you cannot assign .0 on this network and what? .63 as well. Likewise here too, you cannot assign what? .64, and then you cannot assign what? .127 as well. Okay, that's why it's minus 2. Okay, now in CCNA exams, normally it will ask you to find for number of hosts. Number of hosts means it includes this network and the broadcast address. But the moment they say valid host, means the actual devices that will be using the IPs, that the usable IPs, right, on the network, which your system will not send you an error. So those are the what? Valid hosts, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hosts. Sorry, 6 bits left for the host. So 2 raised to the power 6, right? Right. So that's equal to 64, right? So we can cross check that from my. Let me check that from my calculator, right? 2 raised to the power 6, so it's 64 too. So this is the number of hosts. Okay, so if you want to find for valid host, when you are doing CCNA, right, valid host, so it's minus 2. So that one will be equal to what? 62. So that means on each subnet that I have, on subnet 1 I'll be having 62 devices, valid devices. On subnet 2 I have 62 valid devices. Subnet 3 I have 62 valid devices, and subnet 4 62 valid devices, because they are all /26. For /26 in binary you have only 6 bits for what? The host, right? Okay, so let me go back to my network, right? Card once more. Okay, now if you see, when I did a test, I can assign 1, right? But when I bring 63, it rejects it. It's because 0 and the broadcast, okay, the network ID and the broadcast ID cannot be assigned. But that means I can assign up to what? 62. Okay, let's try that. 60. It's okay. Then 62. So you can see, you can assign. When I bring 63, same error as previously. So likewise, if I should jump to network 2, which is my subnet 2, which is what? 64, right? So 64. So you can see. So that means I cannot assign what? 64 to a device. The device is not going to accept. 65. Yes, to accept. So I cannot go to as far as let's say 100. Okay, so you can see, yes, 100 is true. Okay, so let's go to 127, right? So you can see I cannot assign 127 because it's a broadcast address, but I can assign what? 126. Okay, which is between what? 64 and what? 127, right? Likewise, if I should try this one, okay, as well, the 128, it's not going to accept because that one too is a network. Good. So when I try what 191 as well, 191, see, same. Okay, so that means these are network, these are broadcast. So you can assign, you can only assign from what 129, 130, 190, right? But you cannot assign 191. Likewise here too, you can assign 193, 94 up to what 254. You cannot assign what 255 neither. Okay, so let's try that. 255. So you see, you cannot assign. Okay, so this is how you can calculate for subnet. Okay, all right, so thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, right? And I'll be dropping more videos on subnetting, right?